Hello, all good people of the world. This is Paul Whittakin returning to you, or trying to, with the universal law of numbers. And I'm just going to try and get that more or less in view. So the universal law of numbers is the 369 code, and it explains to us how numbers interrelate with each other because basically, if you push buttons on a calculator with your eyes closed and multiply them or subtract them or divide them or add them, somehow they seem like it's just an array of random numbers and nothing makes sense. But in reality, everything does have an order, and the order is given by this universal law of numbers that we have right in front of us. So I'm going to be getting to the 999 code, which is one of the codes, 999, because they're all codes. This is a code, this is a code, this is a code. Every arrangement of numbers that exists on this diagram is, in essence, a code. But I talk about the basic codes because if we understand how the basic codes are interacting, then we can get a better understanding of how these other codes interact, and how numbers always follow a certain order, even when they seem like it's all just one big ball of confusion. So we'll get started today, and I always need to point out the codes, and the codes are 1, 4, and 7. Those three numbers, here they are, 7, 4, and 1. The other codes are 2, 5, and 8. Here's a 1 and a 4 is a 5, 1 and 7 is an 8, and 1 and 1 is a 2. That's another code, the numbers 2, 5, and 8. And we have the code 181, 818, and those are the main codes. They make up the 369 code. They give us 2, 4, 8, 7, 5, 1. And we also have these other codes, for instance, the 1s, the 9s, etc. So what we want to understand a little bit about is that the fact that these numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, well, they're a recurring sequence, and they recur in this direction and they recur in this direction, but they're different than the other numbers. Now, 2 squared is 4, to the third is 8, to the fourth is 16, etc. That gives us this revolution, this sequence of 2, 4, 8, 7, 5, 1. And we might want to understand that, for instance, the number 4 has a relationship with 7, 1, 4. That the number 7 has the relationship with the number 4, 1, 7. But when we take any number that reduces to this number between 1 and 9, well, it becomes that number. But there is a difference because this sequence of x squared through x to the 7th, that revolving sequence, recurring sequence, is different than this sequence with the numbers 1 through 9, because the numbers 1 through 9, they have their original form, and then they have the form that takes on its character, personality, once we start to multiply them by themselves. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, etc. So all of those numbers are a 2. A 4 is a 2, an 8 is a 2, a 7 is a 2, a 5 is a 2, a 1 is a 2, and a 2 is a 2 because 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, 16 times 2 is 35, 30 is 32, 32 times 2 is 64, times 2 is 128, times 2 is 256, times 2 is 512, times 2 is 1024, times 2 is 2048, times 2 is 4096, times 2 is 8182, and they're all going to reduce to a 2, and on and on and on. But it's just a little bit different when we're talking about the original one dimension that recurs in its way as compared to all of the other numbers in the universe that will reduce to a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. but they have a different kind of a sequence. So what I try and explain is, okay, so just like this is a recurring sequence going this way by squaring, cubing to the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th power, etc. Well, the numbers also reduce in that same sequence going in the opposite direction, getting smaller, because if we take the square root of 2 and we, okay, so basically I'm showing it from going above, upwards. So if we take 2 times 2 is 4, but the square root of 4 is 2. And the way we get that is we basically multiply the square root of 4 and times the square root of 4, and we'll come back with the 2. And so that repeating sequence goes on forever in that direction as well. Now, but these numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, well, we see that this is that doubling sequence. Double 2 is 4, double 4 is 8, double 8 is 16, double 16 is 32, double 32 is 64, double 64 is 128. And I like to show that because that's how these numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 will carry on that sequence. So this particular demonstration is different than this, because this shows how the numbers actually work, but what I'm just doing here is I'm showing how they will when they're going in the opposite direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, how they're doubling, okay? They're doubling going backwards, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5, 1. And when we do that, for instance, half of 1 is 0.5, half of 0.5 is 0.25, half of 0.25 is 0.125. It gives us the 369 code as well, and we can see it because 5 and 1 is 6, 7 and 5 is 3, 8 and 7 is 15 is a 6, 4 and 8 is 12 is 3, 2 and 4 is a 6, and 1 and 2 is a 3. So it will follow the 369 code in its own way, 636363, 999999. 3 and 8 is 2, 1, 5, 7, 8, 4. So that's going to be the 258 code and the 714 code, because it's 215784. That's the 248751 code, 248751, etc., etc., etc. And I started doing this on another video and I didn't complete it, so I'm just basically doing that here. And all I'm saying is that when we half number and half the next in half again and half again and half again and half again and half again, basically what it does is it gives us the same code, the 369 code. And here we can see it. So that other one was the first line going across, and I half that. And then I half that, because half of 1 is 5. It's the number 5, and we're seeing that we're getting the 369 code all over again, and that's just what I'm pointing out. 333-666-999, 333-666-999, 333-666-999. Or we'll look at it and we can get the 248751 code, because in this case I've started halving from here and we see that we get these numbers 1248751, 248751. And if we want to look at it from the next line, here's the 129 line, and half of that starts here, 5, half of 5 is 2.5, which is a 7, and we get the 666-999-333, which is the 369 code. And I wanted to basically make that demonstration. So we're going to move along and we're going to do a couple of different things, but essentially I'm going to get to the 999 code, but just give me a second because I want to also show you what I always like to demonstrate is how, these codes, 1, 4, and 7, the code 2, 5, and 8, the code 181818, the code 248751 are always all the same code. Even if we look at it like this, for instance, we'll minus. 8 minus 1 is 7, 8 minus 7 is 1, 8 minus 4 is 4. That's 714. 8 minus 1 is 7, 8 minus 4 is 4, 8 minus 7 is 1. That's 741. And 5 minus 1 is 4, 4 minus 2 is, no, I can't do it like that. I have to do it differently. I have to go 5 minus 1 is 4, 2 minus 1 is 1, 8 minus 1 is 7, that's 417, 2 minus 1 is 1, 5 minus 1 is 4, and 8 minus 1 is 7, and that's that 147 code. And you can see how it's moving because it goes 714, then it's 741, then it's 417, then it's 147. And that's what happens here because we see it's 714, but here it's 714. Or 471, 741, if you want to look at it like that. But how is that the 181818 code? Well, let's see how it is. Well, we can go like this. There's an 8 and there's a 1. But if we add these together, 8 and 1 and 1, that's 10 and that's a 1. So there's an 8 and 4 times 7 is 28, 2 and 8 is a 1. But if we add them together, 8 and 4 is 12 and 7 is 19, that's a 1. So 7 times 4 is 28, times 8 is 224, 2 and 2 and 4 is an 8, but 8 and 4 and 7 is 12 and 7 is 19 is a 1. So we're getting the 181 code out of it, doing it like that, by either multiplying or adding it. Here we have a 1, but together 1, 5, and 2 is 8. Here we have a 1, 1, 2, and 5 is 8. Here we have a 1, 1, 8, and 8. Well, 8 and 8 is 16, and 1 is 17, and 1 and 7 is an 8. So we're getting the 181 code, and that's what's going on. So this adds up to a 1, this adds up to an 8. This adds up to a 1, this adds up to an 8. This adds up to a 1, this adds up to an 8. 181818. Okay, so that's just one way, another demonstration of how the codes are related to each other, and in essence all of the codes are the same code because it's all the 369 code, and it always will be. So this demonstration I'm just going to do for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the code 248751 and I'm going to multiply it against the code, the universal law of numbers code, but in this fashion: 149, 189, 179, 159, 119, 129, 2 against 779, against this. This is, and as I do that, well, what happens is it appears as though the numbers are scrambling and they're really not, following the code. But the numbers will always follow the code, and they'll do it in their own way, and it may not be immediately apparent, but if we look a little bit closer, we will begin to see how it actually does. So 2 times the code gives these numbers, and these are not the familiar codes 298, 378, 358, etc., 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 but they are the code, and I'm going to show you how they become the code. And we're going to do it in a little bit of a creative way. So anyway, when we multiply 4 by the code, we come up with that arrangement. When we multiply 8 by the code, we come up with that arrangement. 7, we come up with that arrangement, and it's not quite apparent or visible how it's following the code per se, but it is. And here we get to the 751. So it was 248751, and if we multiply 1 against the code, well, we're back home, aren't we? So what I'm going to show you is, in this case, the number 9 is this dominant number. It's here, here, and here. In this one, 5 is the dominant number, and it appears in the same position. In this one, 3 is the dominant number, and it appears in that position. Here, 2 is the dominant number in the same position. 6 is the dominant number in that same position. And where we started off, it was 8 is the dominant number in this position. So what we're going to do is we're just going to ignore that dominant number for the time being, and we're going to look and see what happens when we just reduce these numbers. So we have 2, 1, 8, 4, 5, 7. Well, that's 2, 5, 8, 4, 5, 7. That's 2, 4, 8, 7, 5, 1. So basically, we'll take these out and I'll show you what actually happens in the end. Okay, so now I've reduced those numbers in that fashion. And I leave the 8 there and we see that that's the 8. But if we had reduced these numbers, the 2, 9, 3, 7, 3, 5, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 5, and left the 8, we come up with 2, 1, 8, 4, 5, 7. And that's the 2, 4, 8, 7, 5, 1 code. It's just going 2, 8, 5, which is a code, and 7, 1, 4, 1, which is the code. And that's what it does here as well, and here as well. So there's something that is consistent throughout. For instance, 2 and 1 is a 3, 8 and 4 is 12 is a 3, 5 and 7 is 12 is a 3, and we get 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. And that's the 369 code. So 2 is followed by 4, and we get the same kind of action. We get the 369 code like this, 396, 333, 369. That's the 639 or 369 code, but we also get the 582 or the 285 code. 285, 285. And with the next one, because we go 2, 4, 8, 7, 5, 1, we see that we get the 9s in this fashion. 2 and 7 is 9, 8 and 1 is 9, 5 and 4 is 9, but it's the 2, 8, 5 and the 4, 1, 7. That's the 2, 5, 8, 7, 4, 1 code. And in that case, 2 is the dominant number. And now we're getting to the 7, 2, 4, 8, 7. And what do we have here? 3 is the dominant number, and we have the 285 code, 285, 285, 285, and we have 6, 369, 963. That's one way to look at it. It's always going to give the codes because it is the code, and the code only gives the codes. 2, 4, 8. Put that. Okay, now we're getting to the 5. And we have 285 or 258, 258, 258, and we have 471. So the 258 code with the 471 code gives us the 248751 code, 248751. So basically, I guess what I'm showing is now instead of like multiplying by 2 numbers, we're multiplying by 3 numbers, but we're still coming up with the codes, and the codes will always arrange themselves in the distinct way of following the 369 code, 285, 285, 285, 9693, 396. And if we look at these numbers, the dominant numbers, they're going to follow the code too, because it's going to be 9, 5, 3, 2, 6, 8. So that's the 369 code and the 258 code. And that was that demonstration. And I hope you learned something from that. And now we're going to kind of, I'm going to get to the 999s. Okay, this is a code, and it's a very important code because in essence, what we have here is the number 9. All this thing is that we're talking about, yes, it's 248751. Yes, it's 714 and 417. Yes, it's 181818. Yes, it's you know, those codes, but it's really the number 9. And 3 and 6 is a 9, and the 369 code is the number 9. So if we multiply these numbers going across, we're going to get the 369 code. And what I'm going to show you is, see, now that when we're talking about more numbers, instead of just the individual numbers, when we're multiplying larger numbers against themselves or more numbers against themselves, we're still going to come up with the 369 code. So if we multiply these numbers, 1 times 4 times 9 times 7 times 7 times 9 times 4 times 1 times 9, we're going to get the same result as if we multiply 1 times 7 times 9 times 4 times 4 times 9 times 7 times 1 times 9, because in essence, this is the same number. The numbers are just scrambled in a different order, but it's all the same numbers. We have a 1 and a 1. We have a 7 and a 7. We have another 7 and a 7. We have 2 4s up here. We also have 2 4s. We have the 1, how many 1s? 1, 2. Here we have 1, 2. So it's the same number. So basically this gives 571,536. This gives 373,248. This gives the 571,536 again. And this one gives 1,632,960. This gives 729, because 1 times 1 times 9 times 1 times 1 times 9 times 1 times 1 times 9 is 729, because it's 9 times 9 times 9. 9 times 9 is 81 times 9 is 729. And this one gives the same result as this line, because they're the same numbers too, because we have a 1 and a 1, this one 1 2 here, 1 5 there, a 4 1 4 there, 1 5 there again, 1 7 1 8, and that's the same number. And what I'm doing here is now I'm showing you a different way of reducing. For instance, this number ends with a 3 6. I'm not going to touch it, and I'm going to reduce the numbers in front of it, and I'm going to come up with 936. And this one I'm going to just 373 248. Well, 48 is not 396, 3 or 9 or a 6. So we just reduce the whole thing, and it comes to 27, and it's a 9. 27 is a 9. And here the 571,536 does end with a 36. So once again, it's 936. 1,632,960, it ends with a 96, so this will have to be a 3. 1 and 6 is 7, and 3 is 10, and 2 is 12, and 1 and 2 is a 3. It's 396. 729, well, we know what that is. 7 and 2 is a 9, and 9 is a 9, so it's going to be a 9 at 729, and that's not a coincidence, and we're going to look at that. And this is the 1,632,960 again. If it ends with a 9 and a 6, then the numbers in front of it are going to have to reduce to a 3, and it's going to be 396, and that's what I was trying to demonstrate there. And we're going to now kind of look at this 999 code. Okay, the 999 is, it's evident throughout in many, many ways, but we see here are 1s and here are 9s, so let's just do that simple arithmetic. 1 times 9 is 9, 11 times 9 is 99, 111 times 9 is 999, 1,111 times 9 is 9,999. 11,111 times 9 is 99,999. And of course, 111,111 times 9 is going to be 999,999. So I think we can all agree that that is basically showing us something about 999. And the same thing occurs here, because we can do the same exercise going here. 1 times 9 is 9, 11 times 9 is 99, etc. And I think you see that. Okay, let's just... Now, I'm going to elaborate and I'm going to expand on the whole discussion. Now, the whole thing is, when you look at the Universal Law of Numbers code, well, you can see all kinds of things, but it's very difficult to get your head around exactly how it works. And I only understand how it works to a limited degree, because this is essentially a supercomputer. It's the supercomputer of all supercomputers, and it can compute any numbers, but that doesn't mean I can do it. But I will just kind of show you with this diagram how things seem to start to come together. 9 times 1 is 9. 8 plus 1 is 9. 9 plus 9 is 18. 9 times 9 is 81. 9 plus 9 plus 9 is 27. 9 times 8 is 72. 18 plus 1 is 19. 89 plus 2, 1 and 1 is 91. 91 plus 91 is 182. 181 and 818 is 999. 91 plus 89 is 180. And the 0, we just ignore that. 180 is 1/8, and it's 18, isn't it? 99 times 9 is 891, or 891. 99 times 8 is 792. 99 times 7 is 693. That's the 369 code. 99 times 6 is 594. 99 times 5 is 495. 99 times 4 is 396. It's the 369 code. 99 times 3 is 297. 99 times 2 is 198. And 99 times 1 is 99. 99 times 99 is 9801. 999 times 999 is 998,001. And 2 times 999 is 1998. 3 times 999 is 2997, or 2997. And if we look at that, we can see those here too, because we have it here. 1998 and 2997. Okay, so the idea there is to basically introduce you to a different way of looking at numbers, because in reality, that's what they're doing. Now, I'm not saying I can understand all of the protocol, but I do understand from all of this so far that everything is just following the codes. And just to take as an example of, any number, go 1474 times 1291, for instance. All we have to do, the first thing we have to do is just reduce each of those numbers, and whatever number it reduces to, each of those between 1 and 9, it's going to become that number, and all of the operations that follow will abide by that, and we can look at that for sure. But anyway, I'm just going to show you different ways of arriving at 999. So 981 and 18 is 999. So it's showing us within many ways to arrive at 999. 842 and 157, well, that's the 248751 code, and they add up to 999. As does 421 and 578. So we see the 248751 code. 248751 and 842 and 157 will also add up to 999. And here we have it here. We have the 918 here, and we have the 81 there, and that'll be 999. Here in the 248751 code, we see 421 and 578 equals 999. As does 714 and 528. Nope, that's going to be 285. 285. You see, so we're allowed to do this, and we're going in the same direction. We're going that way, 285 and 714. 999. 571 and 428. Those are going in opposite directions, but they add up to 999. And of course, 818 and 181 is 999, but 111 and 888 is also 999. Here we have 999 like this, 784 plus 215. And obviously we can see some 999 action going on there. That shouldn't be hard. Here we see it like this. 842 plus 157. That's 999. So we do have to look at this thing in a different way. We have to look at the numbers in a different way. But anyway, 181, 818, 999. Here's 742 and 257, 999. Here in the matrix, we see it like this, 875 and 124 gives us 999. Or if we want to look at like this, 248 and 751, 999. As well as 48 and 7 and 512 is 999. And we know that 918 and 81 is 999. And we know that 447 and 542, 542 is 999. And we're going to leave it like that. And that was 999. And I'm going to check out for this lesson. My name is Paul Wittekind. And I wish all good people in the world peace and happiness.